Hello, I'm Suzanne Neufang with GBTA, and I'm here at the GBTA Broadcast Studio in Toronto, Canada. And today I'm with Alex Vaux, who's Senior Vice President of Sales for FCM Americas. Welcome, Alex.
Thank you, Suzanne. Thanks for having me.
We're glad you're here, and your team as well. A few things we'll talk about today. The first thing is about you're based in the US, you oversee a US and Canadian sales team. What are the key differences that you see between the US and the Canadian markets, and how does FCM address those differences?
Yeah, there's definitely a couple of things that we have to think about when we're in the Canadian space. First and foremost that comes to mind is the consideration of the Quebec market and the nuanced needs for the Quebec market, being the bilingual and provincial taxes that are different there. And the second thing that comes to mind is really around sort of the domination of Air Canada here. So I think when it comes to air content, maybe you're slightly limited in choice. It makes it a little harder for buyers to really sort of strategize around getting a good airline program in place when it's so heavily dominated by one carrier.
Compares more to Europe than it does to the United States.
Right.
Do you have strategies on how you address then? Are there what can a procurement person do when considering the dominant airline when you're doing a procurement program?
I mean, look, if you're looking at a procurement program from a global perspective, then you're looking at the alliances that you can be a part of. I mean, Air Canada obviously just announced their recent direction with their NDC strategy and what's going to be changing there, following a similar direction to what we're seeing from American Airlines. So it's really about evaluating the full landscape of that content and of those programs and supplier relations to best support the traveler.
In terms of that and other things, what does a TMC really provide to customers that you serve here? Especially in Canada.
In the Canadian space. So I think today, and I guess this actually applies to all markets as well as the Canadian space. I mean, to address those Quebec needs that we were talking about, we actually made an acquisition of a business that's Quebec based in Lorient-de-Valon to be able to meet those unique needs and have that pool of talent there and those agents to be able to service those requirements. We obviously went through and set our technology up to be bilingual as well to be able to address that. I think overarching with regards to buyers and what they're looking for, and Canadian space, US space, global space, everyone's looking for a great user experience, whether that is online or offline. Everyone's heavily focused on service. Customer service is really key right now. The SLA delivery, responsiveness at the moment as businesses recover from those staff shortages. Everyone's looking for great data to be able to analyze and interpret and utilize to make the right decisions for their program, where they can optimize and gain any cost saving benefits from that.
Are there trends that you see among the buyer community with RFI and RFPs that are coming out? What do you see that maybe you didn't see before COVID?
Yeah. Well, we're finally seeing 2022 data, which is great, rather than being
well
benchmarked on 2019. So that's a real positive. We're seeing a lot of consolidation of the meeting and event spend with the transient travel spend and bringing those both out to bid together. Again, looking for a more streamlined process, more greater efficiencies around how to manage that. And again, looking for cost saving opportunities and, driving more volume to specific suppliers. I mentioned user experience, it's key. Again, everybody's very focused on customer service and, at what stage of recovery your business is at the moment. So in order to meet those requirements, NDC, the multiple questions that are coming up around that, and how our business is ready to be able to consume that content, to be able to provide that content to the travelers, and then service that content as well. And then outside of that, I think just the sort of the partnership. People are looking for a value-driven partnership. The cost of travel has increased significantly. The cost to do business has increased significantly for the TMC. So for us, we're continually being asked to present the value to a buyer in terms of to make it worthwhile to pay those additional costs.
I know it's an overused analogy, but the journey continues
Yes.
in our industry. So thank you so much, Alex. Those are great insights. And thank you everybody at home for joining us today. I'm Suzanne Neufang in the GBTA broadcast studio from Toronto, Canada.